Beverly Hills.
I'm going to be talking a little bit in code today because if you watch my channel and you watch my live, yes.
Is the plane going down? Are we going to die? Why are you saying I'm salty?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lindsay, the Housewife Historian, and today we're going to be talking your favorite franchise, The Real Housewives of New Jersey, the gift that keeps on giving. We just celebrated Teresa and Louis' first wedding anniversary. It's been an entire year, actually 12 plus more months, that we have been talking about Louis and Teresa and the wedding and all of the scandal and the Gorgas not attending, all the publicity and things going on behind the scenes between the season, preseason. It's crazy. So we have to talk a little bit about it. But before we do, guys, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. I run all of my tea through my YouTube channel first, so that's why it's important for you to turn your notifications on and subscribe. That's sort of the advantage. And you guys can also check me out on many other platforms, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Also, if you guys know that I advocate and my job is working with women who are with dual diagnosis or recovery issues, reintegration. If you have any issues, you can check out my website at www.lindsayco.com. LENZICO.com. Okay, guys, let's get into this. So first of all, let's talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey and the fact that if contracts have went out and negotiations are in the way, it would make sense because right now we have two of the biggest Real Housewives of New Jersey casts both on vacation. We've got Teresa and Louis on vacation for their anniversary, and they're with their 6 children. And then also we have sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Joe and Melissa vacationing in Italy. Before I get into anything else, guys, of course, everything in this video is alleged for entertainment purposes only, for educational purposes only, for any other purpose only, but everything in this video is alleged. I have been hazed. I have been doxxed. I have met all the qualifications, so please leave my video alone. Anyways, on to the Real Housewives of New Jersey. We have Louis and Teresa celebrating their anniversary in, I want to say, Mykonos, Greece. They are with their children. We're getting a lot of TikToks and video from Gia and Melania and Louis, and they all seem to be celebrating and having a great time. Meanwhile, we had Melissa and Joe. They were on a couple trip by themselves to Italy. It looked very beautiful. We didn't really see them vacation a whole lot with their kids. There were some comments. There were actually just, I think, a couple, but one comment said, a lot of people vacation without their children. Like, what's the big deal? And I completely get that. Unfortunately, I wish that I could be one of those people, but I'm not. Just sometimes it would be nice to maybe take a trip with, an overnight or a weekend, but leave the entire country. I don't know if I would leave the whole country. I wouldn't probably, but that's probably normal for them for their travel. But I also think that the cost significantly drops when you're flying international flights. I mean, you can't I looked up where Joe and Melissa were staying in Italy, and I couldn't find an international flight under $2,000. So I would say that not taking your 3 children would save you probably close to $10,000. It would probably double the price of your vacation if you took 3 kids with you. With Teresa and Louis, it looks like they would have bought 5 international plane tickets plus their own. So they would have had a total of 7 to Greece. And it looks like they're having a marvelous time. It looks very beautiful there. And it looks like they're having a lot of fun. Okay. But here's what happens. Allegedly, Melissa on her podcast, I haven't listened since I think like around February. That was initially what got me, I think, on their hate list was I found a couple of inconsistencies, major inconsistencies in her podcast. Because here's the thing, guys, she will host people sometimes, like different people, but if she doesn't have a host, then she just brings Joe on, and so they sit there and chat and do a podcast for about 45 minutes. Well, the most recent podcast that came out, some people were pulling a clip from it, and it was Melissa discussing life after the kids graduate and go away to college and like empty nest, which she's pretty far from empty nest. Like, I understand that Antonia is graduating, but she still has like another 6 years, I think, before her youngest graduates. And she's already discussing what it's going to be like. And they get on the subject about being happy. And Joe's like, do you think I'm happy? You think I'm happy going around when you got me on all these stupid ass he doesn't say this. I'm paraphrasing. Basically, he says it's my job as a husband. It's been engraved in me, but also because I want to keep you. I go and do all this bullshit that you want me to do, all your crazy ideas for the house and all this stuff. And he literally, this is verbatim. Do you think I'm happy? He said, do you think I'm happy? Do you think I'm happy doing all that? You think I'm happy making you happy all the time? But that's my job. And a lot of people took that and ran with it because it was a little bit uncomfortable. And it did seem like he was being genuine about it. Like, but at the same time, I also am thinking in my head, I'm hearing that little voice that's saying, storyline. The Gorgas need a storyline. The Gorgas need a storyline. Everyone's been harping on them about Teresa being their only storyline. So what's the next best thing? I just said it in my Real Housewives of New York video. Marital problems, even though we've heard this from them before. Take me. I wish I could say production, roll that tape from 2020 in an article that I posted on Instagram of Joe and Melissa talking about the problems in their relationship, talking about how before COVID, she was going out 3 nights a week and staying out, and Joe was pissed and he couldn't take it anymore. But you know what happened? COVID hit. Melissa had to sit her ass down. And she stayed since. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to believe marital problems or if I'm going to believe that they've been faking it until you make it until this point, and now they're going to give us a little bit of what might really be going on behind the scenes. Because as I told you guys before, it's not rainbows and butterflies. You ain't telling me that Melissa is on TV talking about texting ex-boyfriends in front of national television while there's a rumor floating around that she was making out with another guy. That Joe ain't pissed? You think Joe laughs that shit off when Melissa comes home? If you do, you're crazy. You're crazy. No way. That man is pissed. That's why he was allegedly drunk at Watch What Happens Live when he was asked about it. But I'm going to let y'all make your own decisions on that. You can leave it in the comments what you're thinking. I want to speak briefly on Danielle Cabral, also one of the new housewives of New Jersey. This is something that New Jersey does. I don't know if the other franchises are doing that, but when they hired the women, they hired 3, Jen, Rachel, and Danielle. They did not tell them if they were going to be full-time housewives or friends of, but the way that Jen Fessler spoke about how disappointed she was when she found out that she was a friend of made me think that they gave the ladies the impression that they were going to be full-time housewives. Regardless, they had to bring the drama, right? We saw Danielle Cabral coming on the scene as we thought sort of like someone that Teresa Giudice was going to take under her wing and that she was going to be dead loyal to Jennifer and Teresa. Now, we didn't really see that all season. She did seem to make an effort to get to know the other women. She said that in her confessionals. And we didn't really see that from Rachel, right? But there's some things going around in the press about Danielle. I just want to touch brief base on them. There was something about, I cannot place all of the details. She called somebody back and was very rude to them. And I can't remember the exact details of the situation. I want to say that I heard this. I'm going to have to get you guys more details on that. I'm sorry that I don't have all the details. If you guys have heard that, make sure that you comment. There was something about, I don't even know how she got a phone number. Or somebody got her phone number and they spoofed her. And then she somehow got their number and called them back and like cussed them out. I can't remember. Somebody told me that. I'm going to check my DMs. I'm going to get back to you guys on that. Another thing I wanted to say about Danielle Cabral was on one of Bethany Frankel's live. If you don't know, you've been living under a rock lately. Bethany Frankel is spearheading a movement against NBC to create a union for reality stars like Raquel from Vanderpump Rules, and so they can have dental and mental and health and all this other all this craziness. We don't really know. We just know that they're not suing NBC yet, but they've sent a letter that says basically don't destroy any of the evidence that we're going to use when we sue you. Have a great day. So Bethany goes on a live, and Danielle, now again, allegedly there's 80 different reality stars joining the list to be spearheaded by Bravo, or by Bethany against Bravo. Danielle Cabral comments during one of Bethany's lives and says, like, thank you for, it was short, but it was thanking her for basically like standing up, or, you know, doing something with so much integrity, something like that. And she's like, for those of us who have had to crawl on our fingernails to get here. That was the last part of it. Thanking Bethany. I was like, Danielle. I'm like, do these people have publicists? I really don't think that some of the housewives have publicists. This is why I want to write a book on like New Housewives 101. How to stay on Housewives 101. Danielle, I'm going to need you to stay the fuck away from Bethany if you want to stay on the Real Housewives in New Jersey. Okay? Those orders are not from me. I don't care who you hang out with. That's not from me. Okay? That's from your bosses and your people over there at NBC. If they didn't write it out for you, read the writing on the wall. Okay? I'm just saying. Allegedly, guys, we heard that there were contracts in the works for the Real Housewives of New Jersey, but we haven't heard anything else about that. In fact, we heard that BravoCon contracts were actually what was sent out, and those were in the works. We don't see filming, we don't hear of filming, and we are waiting for Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip as well. Yes, that's right. Gretchen Rossi posted on Instagram a photo of herself during her confessional. I didn't like the look. And she said that Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip coming to you early 2024. I'm like, early 2024? We got like 6 months till it's January 2024. Why are you promoting this right now? And then I heard that allegedly the OGs, Dorinda and some of the ladies from New York, had filmed some sort of series, and they are actually pushing that forward on the schedule to fill the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why. One, editing. With all of the heat on NBC right now, and the situation being that allegedly Brandy was drunk, and allegedly Caroline was drunk, and allegedly they were feeling all on each other, all of the ladies during these, they were doing belly dancing classes. That's what it was. And so I felt like Gretchen so Bravo's putting that show on the back burner because they don't want to look bad for Brandy being drunk, possibly them providing alcohol from noon till night. They don't want anyone picking that apart right now because of what's going on with NBC and Bethany in this letter. So they have pushed the New York special up on the schedule, and they're going to fill Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip with what they filmed from New York. And I think Gretchen is jealous. But here's my question that no one seems to be able to answer to me. Do you guys think that they get paid before the season airs, while the season airs, or after? Because to me, it almost feels like they're mad because they have to wait on their paychecks. Either in my opinion, I would think they probably get paid a little bit up front on good written that you're going to follow through on your contract, yada, yada, yada. And then the rest probably doesn't come to after the season, right? They don't pay. Do they pay Denise Richards $3 million up front for her season? I don't know. I just don't think that's the way it goes. So that means all of the ladies who filmed the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, who have been waiting to be relevant again. Mind you guys, these are women who have been shoveled out the door. They haven't been a part of Bravo on shows, or they haven't done other shows. We've done Gretchen Rossi. We can see her on our Instagram every day trying to sell us something, but we don't see her anywhere else, right? We didn't see Taylor Armstrong anywhere else. We're really not seeing that much of her on Orange County. I'm a little disappointed. I think they're going to bring Heather Dubrow to Beverly Hills. That's my opinion. You heard it here first. I think that they're going to bring her to Beverly Hills. I think her and Tamara, I don't think that they can work together. I think Heather needs to come to Beverly Hills. They need her to be in Beverly Hills. And she would be a great addition there. So hopefully producers have enough sense to make that happen. You're welcome. Anyway, guys, make sure that you leave your opinion, what your thoughts are on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Are you thinking that they're going to be filming soon? Where's production, contracts? Comment. Lastly, I want to leave you guys with, if you didn't catch my video on a Real Housewives of New Jersey who threatened or approached David Yontef from the podcast Behind the Velvet Rope, he is going to be dropping his podcast with all of the details on that situation on Saturday. Him and Kim D do a podcast once a week, the two of them, and he always posts on Saturdays. So the issue with Marge Lesarge allegedly approaching him in the Hamptons over the weekend, last weekend that is, and telling him about a file and a file with production and a file on production and better only speak of her in a positive light. I don't know all the details. He told me some of the details and I shared them with you guys. But I'm excited to hear what he's going to tell us because this is very, very out of the ordinary for a housewife to attack or confront a podcaster about things said about them. Prior, there's always been sort of an understanding between the podcast blogger influence community and reality, Bravo celebrities, if you will. Regardless of whether it's good or bad, they're getting pressed when we're posting and talking about them. So they understand that some of the things we say aren't always going to be super nice. I mean, especially if we're telling the truth. And I just think that is not being honored or respected or needs to be said. I'm not quite sure. You're getting a lot of free press if you're a Bravo celebrity and you have a fan or a stan account or a podcast or someone that's shouting you out or that's talking about you and posting about you and keeping you in the press, keeping your name in the viewer and, subscribers' minds, being on, being part of the press. And we've talked more about Marge Lesarge in the last couple of days than we have any of the Real Housewives, explaining for Teresa and Louis because they have been on vacation. And of course, this podcast that came out about Melissa and Joe. Well, not about Melissa and Joe. It was Melissa and Joe. And people were just taking what Joe had said and sort of analyzing it as that he's not super happy in the marriage that he's in. And that's basically what he states. So nobody's a real, I don't think you have to be a genius to figure that out. That's just my opinion. And also, guys, make sure that you check out my new, NYC Gal has her own podcast. She hosts me every Wednesday to talk the Real Housewives of New York. So you guys should go check that out on any streaming podcast service. Also, guys, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And if you're looking for any of my prison reform, then you should go to my website, www.lenzico.com, or email me, housewifehistorian2022@gmail.com, so that we can chat. All right, guys, hope you have a great Monday.